We are going to do a quick talk on what we call EPOC, or excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, or in regular people terms, it's extra after workout oxygen use. So basically how much oxygen your body is still consuming after you are done with exercise. And all that oxygen that your body is using actually takes extra energy, which helps you burn more calories on an everyday basis. So I'm going to quick give you some chalk talk here, and then we're going to move into the presentation so I can give you a little bit more detail. So when we are talking about EPOC, we really want you to understand that dependent on the intensity of your exercise. So in this graph, we have medium intensity, which would be probably green, maybe a long-term blue workout. And you have a shorter EPOC, meaning that you are not going to be burning that oxygen and using energy for that long after your workout is done. Where on the other hand, when you have a higher intensity exercise session or exercise workout, and even if it's a little bit shorter, so this is longer, lower, this is higher for shorter, you're actually going to be in EPOC for a longer period of time. Okay, so they say in studies that it's about 24 hours after your exercise session is over that you are still burning those extra calories. These are things that help increase our metabolism, which is how fast we burn calories. So we want to make sure that you understand that those of you who are definitely increasing your level of intensity in your exercises during this time, and especially with my class, you're going to want to make sure you're taking in more calories because your body is just using it differently than it has been.
As we're going through this information about excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, or EPOC, as I'm going to refer to it from here on out, I really want you to think about the workouts that we've done over the last couple weeks, and I want you to think about the workouts that we have moving forward and what benefit you're getting from this EPOC every single time. So understanding again that the higher intensity you work out at, the more beneficial it is going to be for you in that long run. And even if we're going at a lower blue or green level for longer periods of time, your EPOC just isn't going to be as strong. So first things first, I got to give credit where credit is due. Most of this information I got from Emily Sopo, who is a certified personal trainer. She wrote an article that was very easy to understand and really easy for me to convey this information to you guys for ACE Fitness. And really how she starts it is talking about how personal trainers tell their customers all the time that, hey, you know what? This workout that we're doing today is going to help you burn more calories for the rest of the day. And yeah, it's absolutely true. And I'm going to show you why right here. So the other thing that we call EPOC is afterburn. Okay. And with this afterburn, it is the result of really high intensity exercise. So really a lot of the circuits that we've been doing and a lot of the stuff that I'm working towards for you guys is to be working in that orange and red zone. Now we're not going to do that every single time, but we do want your body to get used to working in that level so you can get the benefits of EPOC. So when we're talking about that orange and red zone, if you remember back about a week and a half ago, we talked about rate of perceived exertion. You should be from a 7 to a 10. If we're talking about the talk test, you should be getting out 1 or 2 word answers. And a lot of this stuff where I'm giving you the exercises, that intensity is going to have to come from you. You are going to have to make sure that you can up your intensity. You can move faster. You can move more explosively. So it's not always just about the exercise that you're given. It's about the effort and the intensity that you personally are putting into it. And the types of exercises and types of workouts that have higher EPOC results are going to be interval training, which we have done where you're going high intensity and then allowing yourself to recover. Tempo training, which we haven't really touched on yet, but that's going to be where you're working at a higher level, that higher intensity, okay, for a longer period of time. Circuit training, which we have definitely done, and also some heavy lifting. Now, we had our first real lift workout last week, and we will be incorporating more and more of those. And hopefully, you are able to find some heavier weights around your house that you can really get the benefit of this from. So, if we work out a high level consistently, it's actually going to help you with that calorie burn and it's actually going to increase your metabolism. So the definition of EPOC. So what is it? Well, it's the amount of oxygen that your body is actually using after each exercise session. So logically, what this means is that you're going to be using more oxygen and more energy after exercise than you were before your exercise session. And also what this means is that you're actually burning more calories after exercise for a long duration than before you were actually working out. So why does this happen? Why do we get this EPOC effect? So during EPOC, our body is actually trying to return to homeostasis, which means in normal state. Okay, so I'm getting a little sciencey on you guys. We want our body temperature to decrease back to close to 98.6. We need you to replenish your energy. And that's why a lot of times after a workout, people are craving sugary drinks, or maybe that you are craving a little bit more food. Also, we need to make sure that you are understanding that we need to reoxygenate our blood. Because as you are working out, the oxygen is actually being depleted from your blood because it's trying to help all your other systems work. We also need our heart rate to return back to normal, and also our breathing rate needs to return back to normal. So about how long does EPOC last? Well, again, like I talked about up here, is that the majority of the studies say that EPOC is done at about 24 hours. Okay, after your exercise session is over, you have about 24 hours, as long as it's a high intensity workout, okay, to feel that EPOC effect. Some studies can say that it takes about 15 minutes, but I would definitely say that's happening here when it's a longer workout at more of a blue or green level. Okay, and the intensity of exercise has a lot to do with how long that EPOC lasts. So here are the two examples that I just gave you guys on my whiteboard. But for you to understand with a classic cardio session, so that's if we're going for about 45 minutes to an hour at one sustained pace. Okay, so again, we're looking over here at green, blue, or gray in the heart rate zones, a 0 to a 6 in regards to RPE, or being able to speak in sentences and have a conversation. Okay, our EPOC effect is not going to last us very long. On the other side, when we are looking at a high intensity exercise, so this one that shows here is only 12 minutes long, and that's really getting up into that orange and red zone where we are anywhere between a 7 or a 10, and we're able to speak maybe 1 or 2 word responses to somebody. Our EPOC can be up to 24 hours long. So how is EPOC affected by exercise? So like we've talked about quite a few times already, high intensity and or longer duration exercises that actually increases your heart rate and really fatigues your muscles gets a greater EPOC response. But basically, the further away you get from homeostasis, so whatever your normal is right now, the farther away you get from that, the greater the EPOC is going to be after your exercise workout. So really for you to understand that if your fitness level is not very high right now and you feel you're at about here for your fitness level, it's not going to take much to get you into that orange and red zone. Those of you who are more fit and you're here, you're probably going to need to do really high intensity exercise for short burst times, because for you to get to max effort, it's going to take some more work. Also, how is EPOC affected by exercise? So how do you know if you're working out at an intense enough level? And again, a lot of this is going to come from you guys. Your RPE has to be between a 7 and 10. Your talk test is going to be 1 to 2 words. And if you are using a heart rate monitor like I have here, you're going to want to be anywhere in the orange to the red zones. Okay? So types of workouts that really help lengthen that EPOC is going to be interval training, like we talked about, tempo training, and circuit training. So again, I give you the exercises. You have to learn and figure out how to get the intensity out of that workout in order to get this benefit. So again, quick synopsis here. So we have the result of high intensity exercise. Okay, we use our zones, use your RPE, use your talk test. Exercises that have higher EPOC results are intervals, tempo training, circuits, and heavy lifting. And finally, if we work out a high level consistently, it's going to actually help us with calorie burning over time. So what you're going to do right now is you're going to go into Schoology, you're going to complete that exit ticket by hand or in Notability and make sure you submit it to Schoology by tonight. EPOC away.